History is filled with legendary empires like Rome, Egypt, and the Mongols, but what about the ones that didn't make it into mainstream history classes? Some ancient empires were incredibly powerful, ruling over vast territories, but they've nearly vanished from our memories today. In this video, we're diving into the top 10 forgotten empires you probably didn't know existed. From ancient African dynasties with technological prowess to sprawling kingdoms in Southeast Asia, these empires left a lasting legacy, even if they're not widely remembered today. Make sure to stick around until the end. There's one empire on this list that could have rewritten the course of history as we know it. Before we get started, hit that like button and subscribe if you're a fan of hidden history. And tell us in the comments, which lesser-known empire would you want to visit if you could time travel? Starting off our list, we have the Kingdom of Aksum. Located in what is now Ethiopia and Eritrea, Oxum was once a trading powerhouse of East Africa, controlling trade routes between the Roman Empire and ancient India. Known for its monumental obelisks and advanced coinage, Oxum was one of the first empires to adopt Christianity as the state religion. Despite its early influence, Oxum is largely forgotten outside of Ethiopia. Climate change and shifting trade routes contributed to its decline, but remnants of its influence, like the famous Oxum obelisks, still stand tall today. Imagine visiting this ancient kingdom at its height, trading spices and gold with merchants from all over the world. Next, we have the Hittite Empire, which thrived in what is now Turkey and parts of Syria around 1600 BCE. The Hittites were powerful rivals to ancient Egypt, famously clashing with Ramses II in the Battle of Kadesh, one of the largest chariot battles in history. Not only were the Hittites fierce warriors, but they also pioneered iron smelting technology, giving them a strategic advantage in weaponry. Their empire eventually crumbled due to invasions and internal strife, but for centuries the Hittites were a dominant force in the ancient world. Imagine how differently history might look if they had continued to thrive. Over in Southeast Asia, the Kingdom of Champa flourished along the coast of modern-day Vietnam from around the 2nd to the 15th century. The Cham people were skilled sailors and traders, linking the spice trade between China, Indonesia, and India. Known for their unique Hindu temples and art, Champa's architecture influenced the later construction of famous sites like Angkor Wat. However, centuries of conflict with neighboring powers, including the Vietnamese Dai Viet, led to Champa's decline. Despite its obscurity today, Champa's cultural influence still lingers in Southeast Asia. The idea of sailing through ancient trade routes in Southeast Asia with the Chams is a thrilling thought. Now let's head to West Africa, where the Songhai Empire rose to power in the 15th century. At its peak, Songhai was one of the largest empires in African history, stretching across present-day Mali, Niger, and Nigeria. Known for its great learning center in Timbuktu, Songhai was a hub for Islamic scholarship, law, and trade. Songhai's military and administrative structure were advanced for the time, and the empire controlled critical trans-Saharan trade routes. It eventually fell due to Moroccan invasions, but Songhai's legacy lives on in the art and literature of West Africa. Just imagine the wealth of knowledge stored in the libraries of Timbuktu during Songhai's golden age. Another powerful but lesser-known empire is the Kingdom of Srivijaya, based in what is now Indonesia. Srivijaya was a maritime and commercial empire that dominated Southeast Asian trade from the 7th to the 13th century. Its influence extended as far as China and India, making it a center for Buddhist learning and culture. Srivijaya controlled the Malacca Strait, one of the most important trade routes at the time, and grew wealthy through its control of sea traffic. Despite its importance, Srivijaya's influence faded, and it was largely forgotten until recent archaeological discoveries brought it back to light. Imagine the cultural exchange in Srivijaya's bustling ports. Rising to power in ancient Iran, the Parthian Empire was a formidable opponent of Rome. From around 247 BCE to 224 CE, the Parthians controlled the Silk Road, facilitating trade between the East and the West. Known for their skilled cavalry and unique blend of Greek, Persian, and local cultures, Parthia was a major power of the ancient world. The Parthian Empire eventually gave way to the Sassanid Empire, but its role in shaping early trade and military tactics shouldn't be overlooked. Picture standing along the Silk Road in Parthia, where goods from all over the ancient world passed through. In Korea, the Kingdom of Silla was one of the three kingdoms that ruled the Korean peninsula. From 57 BCE to 935 CE, Silla developed a sophisticated culture with stunning Buddhist art and architecture. They also created one of the earliest centralized state structures in East Asia, setting a foundation for later Korean unification. Silla's history is rich with tales of powerful queens, Buddhist monks, and alliances with China. The kingdom eventually unified Korea under its rule, though it's often overshadowed by later dynasties. Imagine exploring the temples of Silla during its golden age, witnessing the beauty of its unique art and culture. Nestled in Central Asia, the Kushan Empire was a diverse and cosmopolitan empire that thrived from the 1st to the 3rd century CE. The Kushans controlled trade routes that linked India, China, and Rome, and they were patrons of both Buddhism and Zoroastrianism. Their influence on art, particularly the Greco-Buddhist style, was profound and can still be seen in the sculptures of the ancient Gandhara region. The Kushans played a key role in spreading Buddhism across Asia. However, due to invasions and shifting trade patterns, their empire declined, and today, it's one of history's forgotten realms. Walking the trade routes of the Kushan Empire, encountering diverse cultures, would be a sight to behold. In the heart of Central Africa, the Kanan Boru Empire ruled for nearly 1,000 years, from the 9th to the 19th century. Situated around Lake Chad, Kanan Boru became a powerful Islamic state and controlled trade routes that spanned across the Sahara. The empire was known for its skilled horsemen and elaborate court rituals. Kanan Boru maintained its influence through diplomacy, trade, and military strength. However, European colonization eventually weakened its power. Despite its impact on African history, Kanan Boru remains largely unknown. Imagine journeying through the vast territories of this resilient empire, encountering its unique blend of Islamic and African traditions. And finally, we have the Taskan Empire of Mesoamerica. The Tarascans were fierce rivals of the Aztecs, with whom they shared a border in modern-day Mexico. Unlike the Aztecs, the Tarascans excelled in metalworking, crafting tools and weapons from bronze and copper, which gave them a technological edge in warfare. The Tarascans were known for their fortified cities and intricate social structure, yet their empire was ultimately subdued by the Spanish. Despite its decline, the Tarascan legacy endures in the traditions of the indigenous Purépecha people. Imagine the powerful Tarascan warriors facing off against the Aztecs with their advanced weaponry, one of the lesser-known but remarkable stories in Mesoamerican history. And there you have it, the top 10 forgotten empires that once shaped the world but have faded from most history books. Each of these empires tells a unique story of culture, conquest, and legacy, proving that history is so much richer and more diverse than we often realize. Which of these empires surprised you the most? Leave a comment below and tell us which one you'd love to learn more about. And before you go, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more historical explorations. Also, let us know in the comments, if you could bring one of these empires back to life today, which would it be and why? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.